Every single morning, in quiet kitchens and bathrooms across America, millions of older adults reach for their weekly pill organizer, swallow 2 small tablets with a gulp of water, and move on with their day. You do it without a second thought. It's just part of your morning routine, like brewing a fresh pot of coffee or checking the morning weather. You take them because you trust your doctor. You care about your health, and you want to be around to watch your grandchildren grow up. And for many people, those pills do exactly what they're supposed to do. But if those 2 little tablets sitting in your daily dispenser happen to be Amlodipine and Losartan, there is something happening beneath the surface that very few people ever explain to you. This specific medication combination is prescribed by doctors every single day across the United States. On paper, it is a brilliant strategy. Hypertension can be stubborn, and when one drug isn't enough to bring your numbers down, doctors combine 2 different classes. Amlodipine relaxes and widens your blood vessels from the outside, while Losartan blocks a specific hormonal signal that causes those vessels to constrict from the inside. Working together, they hit high blood pressure from 2 completely different angles. It sounds like the perfect team, right? Here is the invisible trap. Effective does not automatically mean harmless. Especially after the age of 60, your body doesn't process medications the way it did in your 30s or 40s. Your kidneys clear drugs a little more slowly, your inner ear balance becomes far less forgiving, and a single hot summer day spent in the yard without enough water can completely change how your body handles the exact same dosage you've taken safely for years. What frightens me most is that when side effects begin, they rarely feel like a drug reaction. They feel like just getting older. They feel like a little extra tiredness, a slight wobble when you get out of bed, or pussy ankles at the end of the day, so you brush them off. Before we dive into the 7 warning signs, hear this vital message. Never stop taking your medication on your own. Abruptly quitting can cause your blood pressure to surge to dangerous levels. But by the end of this video, you will know exactly what quiet red flags to look for and the precise questions to ask your doctor at your next appointment. Now that we understand how this dual medication regimen works behind the scenes, let us talk about the absolute most critical, most misunderstood, and most dangerous risk on our entire countdown. We are talking about side effect number 1, potassium rising too high in your blood, medically known as hyperkalemia. If words like hyperkalemia sound intimidating or overly technical, stay right here with me for a moment, because the actual concept is both simple and deeply frightening. Think about your heart. Every single beat, every single rhythm that keeps you alive is governed by a delicate electrical conduction system. And the master conductor of that electrical system is a mineral called potassium. You need potassium to live. It helps your muscles contract, your nerves fire regularly, and your heart beat regularly. But here's the golden rule of senior health. Too little potassium is dangerous, but too much can be fatal. Here's where your medication enters the story. Losartan belongs to a class of drugs known as ARBs, angiotensin II receptor blockers. One of Losartan's jobs is to block hormones that tell your body to hold on to sodium and get rid of potassium.
In doing so, it protects your kidneys in certain patients, but it also changes your body's chemical balance. It tells your kidneys to hang on to potassium. Now, why is this particular side effect so terrifying for older adults? Because unlike ankle swelling or a dizzy spell when you stand up, high potassium is almost completely silent. It does not announce itself with a flashing light or a sharp pain in your chest. A senior walking around with a rising potassium level might feel a little more sluggish than usual. Their legs might feel heavy, like walking through deep water. They might experience mild muscle cramps, or perhaps a strange, fleeting fluttering in their chest that they brush off as harmless anxiety. Most of the time, there are zero warning signs at all, until a routine blood panel catches it, or worse, until the heart's electrical rhythm suddenly becomes unstable. And here's the cruelest irony of all. Many well-meaning, disciplined seniors accidentally make this problem 10 times worse while trying their absolute hardest to be healthy. Picture this common scenario. You go to your annual checkup and your doctor says, "Your blood pressure is a bit high. Let's watch your sodium intake. Try to cut back on table salt." As a conscientious American senior who wants to stay independent and active, you take that advice seriously. You drive to your local grocery store, whether it's Kroger, Publix, Safeway, or Walmart, walk down the spice aisle and purchase a popular commercially available potassium-based salt substitute. You start sprinkling it generously over your morning eggs, your soups, and your vegetables. You think you are doing the right thing. You think you are protecting your heart. But nobody warned you that when you combine a potassium-based salt substitute with Losartan, you are pouring fuel onto an invisible fire. Both Medline Plus and the Mayo Clinic issue explicit, crystal-clear warnings on this exact issue. Never use salt substitutes containing potassium while taking Losartan unless your physician explicitly tells you it is safe. Furthermore, many older adults drink commercial electrolyte replacement powders, energy drinks, or liquid nutritional shakes after a morning walk or when they are feeling under the weather, completely unaware that these products are often loaded with hidden potassium. You are not careless, you are simply uninformed because nobody sat down to explain the fine print. And that's why this is the #1 danger. The danger is not the existence of the medication itself. The danger is taking it blindly while unknowingly stacking the deck against your own heart. At your next doctor's appointment, don't just ask about your blood pressure numbers. Ask a direct question that could save your life. Can we check my current potassium levels? And are there any dietary products or salt substitutes I need to avoid while taking my Losartan? Knowledge is your greatest shield. Stay aware, read your labels, and never guess when it comes to your heart's electrical rhythm.
Now let us turn our attention to side effect number 2. A quiet, insidious issue that affects one of the most hard-working, vital systems in your entire body: kidney stress, worsening renal function, and in severe cases, acute kidney injury. Your kidneys are absolute masterpieces of natural engineering. Every single day, these two bean-shaped organs filter around 50 gallons of blood, balancing your electrolytes, clearing out metabolic waste, and helping regulate your blood pressure. But to carry out that heavy workload without breaking down, your kidneys depend heavily on a steady, precise flow of blood and a delicate internal fluid balance. And this is precisely where Losartan enters the picture with immense power.
In official prescribing information, drug manufacturers clearly state that changes in kidney function, including sudden kidney failure, can occur in certain patients taking losartan. Now, hear me clearly. This does not mean losartan is a bad medication. In fact, for many people with long-term diabetes or kidney disease, losartan is prescribed specifically because it can protect kidney filtration over time. But when conditions inside your body change, that protective mechanism can turn on a dime and become a source of profound physical stress. The main reason seniors fall into trouble with their kidneys while taking losartan and amlodipine comes down to one simple truth: your kidneys do not scream when they are hurting. Unlike an arthritic knee that throbs when you walk down the stairs or a toothache that keeps you awake at night, suffering kidneys rarely cause sharp, localized pain. They suffer in absolute silence. You might feel a bit more fatigued than usual. Your appetite might drop slightly. You might notice your ankles swelling a bit more in the evening. But because these signs are so vague, almost every older adult brushes them off as just getting older or having an off day. The problem goes unnoticed until routine blood work at your clinic reveals a sudden spike in blood urea nitrogen or creatinine, or worse, until you land in the emergency room. And there is a common everyday scenario where this quiet stress turns into an immediate crisis: the deadly combination of losartan, mild dehydration, and over-the-counter pain relievers. Let us talk about over-the-counter pain relievers, specifically NSAIDs, or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Millions of American seniors rely on drugs like ibuprofen, naproxen, Motrin, or Aleve every single day to manage joint stiffness, backaches, or headaches. You can buy them in massive bottles at Costco, CVS, or your local grocery store without a prescription, so naturally, most people assume they are completely harmless. They're not. NSAIDs work by blocking chemicals that keep blood vessels inside your kidneys open. When you take an NSAID pain reliever while already taking losartan, you're clamping down on the blood supply to your kidneys from two different directions simultaneously. Now add a third element to that mix: dehydration. Imagine a hot July afternoon working in the garden, a summer road trip where you intentionally drink less water so you don't have to stop for bathroom breaks, or a mild stomach bug with a few days of vomiting or diarrhea. In that dehydrated state, your body is desperate for fluids, yet your blood pressure pills keep pushing fluid out, and your over-the-counter pain pill chokes off the remaining blood supply to your kidneys. That exact recipe is how a healthy, independent senior ends up with sudden kidney injury from a routine pill routine. Your kidneys are forgiving, but they need you to protect them. At your next visit, ask your doctor to review your over-the-counter pain medications and double-check your latest kidney lab numbers. Taking care of your blood pressure should never come at the expense of the organs that filter your life.
Let us now talk about side effects number 3 and 4 on our list, two issues that go hand in hand and represent one of the single greatest threats to a senior's independence: sudden blood pressure drops, fainting, and severe dizziness. To understand why this happens, picture a scenario that millions of older adults across America experience every single night. It is 3 a.m. The house is completely dark and quiet. You wake up with a sudden need to use the bathroom. You swing your legs over the edge of the bed, sit there for just a second, and stand up to walk across the room. But as soon as your feet hit the floor, a cold wave washes over you. The room does not necessarily spin, but it feels like it is floating. Your vision dims slightly around the edges.
Your knees feel hollow, and for 2 terrifying seconds, you know that if you do not grab the nightstand immediately, your body is going down. In the medical world, this phenomenon is known as orthostatic hypotension, or a sudden drop in blood pressure on standing. And when you're taking both amlodipine and losartan, your risk of experiencing this terrifying moment multiplies significantly. Here's the mechanical truth of what's happening inside your blood vessels. Under normal circumstances, when a young healthy person stands up quickly, gravity instantly pulls blood down toward the feet and legs. The brain notices this sudden drop in blood pressure and sends a lightning-fast signal to the blood vessels, telling them to tighten up and pump blood right back up to the brain and heart. But when you're taking amlodipine, that pill is forcing your arterial walls to stay relaxed and wide open. At the same time, losartan is blocking the hormone system that tells your body to boost pressure when needed. Put those 2 powerful mechanisms inside an older body, and your circulatory system simply can't react fast enough to gravity. The blood stays down in your legs, your brain is briefly starved of oxygen, and you experience that dangerous floating lightheadedness. Now, why is this so critical for American seniors? Because the dizzy spell itself may pass in 5 or 10 seconds, but the consequences of those 5 or 10 seconds can change your life forever. Think about what sits in a typical American bedroom or hallway at night: a sharp corner on a wooden nightstand, a loose throw rug on a hardwood floor, or tile flooring in the bathroom. One hand misses the counter, one foot catches the edge of a rug, one hip strikes a hard surface, or one head hits a tile floor. In an instant, a simple medication side effect turns into a fractured hip, a traumatic brain injury, or an emergency room visit that steals a senior's physical freedom and mobility for months, or even permanently. What makes this issue even more deceptive is its inconsistency. Many seniors say, "Well, I feel fine sitting in my favorite armchair during the day, so it can't be my blood pressure pills." But blood pressure medications don't work in a vacuum. The exact same dose that feels fine on a cool Tuesday morning can suddenly cause you to faint on a hot Thursday afternoon after you worked in the yard, missed lunch, or took a long hot shower. Hot water, heat, mild dehydration, and empty stomachs all expand blood vessels further and pull fluid away from your brain. Do not brush off dizziness as just getting old. If standing up makes you wobble, your body is giving you a critical warning. Talk to your care team about adjusting your dose timing or medication plan before a momentary spell turns into a life-changing fall.
Let us now look at side effects number 5, 6, and 7, the everyday disruptors that quietly steal a senior's quality of life: ankle swelling, heavy fatigue, and uncomfortable heart palpitations. These 3 symptoms are among the most frequently misread signs in senior health. Why? Because when older adults feel tired, notice puffy legs, or feel a flutter in their chest, they almost always say the exact same thing: "Well, I guess I'm just getting older." But controlled blood pressure should never come at the cost of feeling miserable every single day. First, let us talk about ankle, foot, and leg swelling, medically known as peripheral edema. This is amlodipine's absolute signature side effect. Amlodipine works by relaxing the tiny arterial blood vessels near your skin. That relaxes your blood pressure, but it also allows fluid to leak out of the capillaries and pool into the surrounding tissues of your lower legs. By 5 p.m., your shoes feel tight, your socks leave deep, painful indentations around your calves, and your legs feel heavy and full. What makes this symptom emotionally distressing is that it frightens people. A senior looks down at their swollen feet and thinks, "Is my heart failing? Are my kidneys shutting down?" Then, instead of calling their doctor, many seniors make a dangerous mistake. They start skipping doses on their own. They skip pills on church mornings, travel days, or family events so their shoes will fit. But while the swelling temporarily goes down, their blood pressure spikes silently in the background, putting them at risk for a stroke. Next, let us address unusual fatigue and body heaviness. We are not talking about normal tiredness after working in the yard or playing with grandchildren. We mean that persistent, heavy drag where walking across the kitchen feels like miring through wet cement. Amlodipine and Losartan together can push your blood pressure lower than your brain and muscles comfortably tolerate, especially if you're slightly dehydrated. When your organs don't get optimal perfusion, your body slows down. Seniors who experience this often stop going for daily walks, cancel social visits, and spend hours sitting in their armchairs. Their families assume they're just slowing down with age, when in reality, their blood pressure regimen is simply pushing their numbers too low. Controlled blood pressure on a monitor screen means very little if you're too exhausted to enjoy your life. Finally, there's the unsettling issue of heart palpitations and racing heartbeats. Amlodipine can sometimes trigger what doctors call reflex tachycardia. When your blood vessels relax rapidly, your heart occasionally overcompensates by beating faster or pounding harder against your ribs. You lie down in a quiet bedroom at night, and suddenly you're hyper-aware of every single beat. It feels jumpy, fluttering, or dramatic. The fear and anxiety from feeling your heart race only drives your blood pressure higher, creating a stressful cycle. While brief palpitations are not always a catastrophe, any fluttering accompanied by shortness of breath, chest tightness, or dizziness must be evaluated immediately. Never settle for feeling drained, swollen, or frightened by your medication. These symptoms are not an inevitable price of aging. There are clear signals from your body asking for a conversation with your healthcare provider.
We have covered a lot of crucial ground today, from quiet potassium spikes and kidney stress to dizzy spells, fatigue, and swollen ankles. If you or someone you love is taking amlodipine and losartan together right now, you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed. So let me put your mind at ease immediately. Do not panic, and please do not throw your pills in the trash. Fear is not our goal today. Clarity, awareness, and safe action are. High blood pressure remains a major driver of strokes and heart attacks, and these medications are powerful tools when monitored correctly. The key is making sure these pills serve your health without shrinking your quality of life. Here is your practical 6-step action plan to stay safe, active, and fully in control. Step 1. Never adjust or stop your medications on your own. If you suddenly stop taking your blood pressure pills out of fear, your pressure can surge to dangerous levels. Any changes to your dosage or timing must be made hand in hand with your prescribing doctor or cardiologist. Step 2. Inspect your kitchen for hidden potassium sources. If you take losartan, check your pantry for commercial salt substitutes, low-sodium seasoning blends, and electrolyte replacement powders. Always ask your physician before using potassium-based products. Be extremely careful with over-the-counter pain relievers. NSAIDs, like ibuprofen, naproxen, or Aleve, can create a dangerous strain on your kidneys when combined with losartan. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about safer alternatives for daily joint pain or arthritis. Keep a strict sick day protocol. If you catch a stomach virus with fever, vomiting, diarrhea, or heavy sweating, dehydration changes how your body handles these pills overnight. Call your doctor's office for guidance on whether to temporarily pause or adjust your dose while recovering. Never skip your routine blood work. Kidney function numbers, like creatinine and BUN, along with blood potassium levels, can only be tracked through simple blood tests. Make sure your doctor orders these routine panels at least once or twice a year. Step 6. Track how you feel, not just your numbers. Keep a simple notebook on your kitchen counter. Record your morning blood pressure, but also write down symptoms like dizziness, heavy fatigue, or leg swelling. A great reading on a monitor screen means very little if your body feels unstable. Getting older does not mean accepting exhaustion, swelling, or fear as your new normal. You deserve to feel strong, balanced, and confident every single day. Take this knowledge, ask the right questions at your next checkup, and keep advocating for your health. Thank you for watching, stay alert, and take good care of yourself.